Ancient Serengeti Kingdom. Centuries of pride. This was the kingdom of Shona, a realm of untamed beauty and untold secrets. It was here, at the feet of the mighty Mount Kilimanjaro, that a prophecy had been whispered through the ages, a prophecy that foretold of a day when the very heavens would tremble and the earth would crack open, unleashing forces darker than anyone could imagine. The signs are clear, the prophecy is near. In the ancient scrolls, it is written that when the moon turns blood red, the world will teeter on the edge of collapse. A darkness long buried beneath the earth will rise again, and only the chosen one, born of the moon and earth, will have the strength to stop it. But she will not be alone. By her side, there will stand a creature more powerful than any warrior or an ancient lioness born of the spirit world. As the sun set on the 100th year of King Obakosi's reign, a grand celebration was held in his honor. Music echoed through the royal palace, and dancers adorned in brightly colored robes performed sacred rituals to appease the gods. But among the revelers, there was one figure who felt a deep sense of dread: Nyembe, the king's daughter. Her heart, though filled with pride for her father's reign, was heavy with the weight of a destiny she could not escape. She had always known that she was different, that she was connected to something far greater than any earthly throne. But tonight, the moon's ominous glowed as blood. Crimson and full was an unmistakable sign. It was the beginning of the end. And as the red moon hung heavy in the sky, Nyembe knew her time had come. Nyembe was not just the daughter of a king. She was a daughter of the Muna child, born under the sacred light of the heavens, blessed with powers no other human possessed. Her mother, Nia, was a revered moon priestess whose wisdom was sought by kings and sages alike. The moon had always whispered to Nyembe, guiding her through troubled times, giving her strength when her people needed her most. But this night was different. The moon spoke to her directly, not in gentle whispers, but with urgency and power. Nyembe, the time is now. The darkness that once threatened your people will rise again. You are the chosen one, the one who will stand between the world of the living and the spirits. But you will not face this battle alone. The lioness, the guardian of the land, will guide you. Together, you will save the world. Nyembe looked to the heavens, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew what was at stake, but she was no longer afraid. This was her destiny that had been written long before her birth. But where would she find this lioness? And what was this darkness that threatened to engulf the earth? Before she could ponder further, the earth trembled beneath her feet. A deep growl echoed from the wilds beyond the kingdom, and in that instant, Nyembe understood. The lioness had arrived. Before we continue, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more epic tales of courage, magic, and destiny. Drop a comment below. What would you do if you were the chosen one? Stay tuned for the journey ahead as we dive deeper into the legend of Nyembe and the lioness. Nyembe traveled far and wide, seeking the lioness that the moon had promised. She ventured through dense jungles where the trees seemed to whisper secrets of old, across the endless Sahara Desert where the heat was unbearable, and through the mist-covered hills of the Masai Mara where ancient spirits roamed. Then, one night, as Nyembe stood at the edge of a vast savanna under the red moon, the ground rumbled beneath her. From the darkness emerged the mighty Leka, the lioness, her body glowing with an ethereal light that shone brighter than the stars above. She was more than a mere creature. He was a guardian, an ancient spirit who had watched over the land for centuries. Leka, the lioness, was not just a protector of the wild, but the embodiment of Africa's untamed spirit. She had the strength of the earth, the wisdom of the heavens, and the heart of a warrior. Together, Nyembe and Leka would become an unstoppable force. Leka's deep, resonant voice filled the night air as she spoke. I am Leka. The moon has called you, Nyembe, and I will guide you on this journey. We must confront the darkness, for if we fail, the world will fall into eternal night. The two shared a moment of silent understanding. They were bound by fate. Nyembe mounted the lioness, feeling the immense power and wisdom that pulsed through Leka's every move. Together, they rode into the unknown, determined to fulfill their destiny. As Nyembe and Leka journeyed across the lands, they encountered signs of the growing darkness, villages abandoned, crops withering, and whispers of the return of an ancient sorcerer named Kweku. He had once been a mighty king, known for his dark magic and unquenchable thirst for power. Betrayed by his own bloodline, Kweku had opened a portal to the underworld, releasing legions of dark spirits that ravaged the earth. But before his death, he had cursed the land, swearing that his spirit would rise again to bring about the world's end. Kweku's curse was far from over. His spirit, bound by ancient magic, had been growing stronger. His return meant the end of the world as Nyembe knew it. In their travels, Nyembe and Leka came across a village where the people were terrorized by shadowy figures who emerged from the ground. The village elder, a wise old woman named Zara, revealed that Kweku's followers had been spreading chaos to weaken the realm before the sorcerer's return. Zara spoke of the only way to stop Kweku, Nyembe's bloodline, rooted in the moon and the earth, was the key. She would have to call upon the spirits of her ancestors to restore balance, but she would need more than courages. She would need the strength of the land itself. Nyembe understood then that her connection to the moon and the earth was her greatest weapon. She performed a sacred ritual, invoking the spirits of her ancestors, and for the first time felt their power surge within her. The skies parted, and a great storm of energy enveloped the land. The villagers watched in awe as the winds calmed and the darkness began to retreat. Feeling the energy of this epic journey? Hit like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to drop a comment below. What do you think is the greatest force in the battle between good and evil? Let's keep going. The story's only getting started. Nyembe and Leka reached Spirit Mountain, where the portal to the underworld was said to lie hidden. As they ascended the mountain, the wind howled with the voices of ancient spirits, warning them of the danger that awaited at the summit. At the peak, Kweku's spirit stood waiting, an imposing figure of smoke and fire, eyes glowing with hatred and malice. His dark magic twisted the air around them, and the ground beneath their feet began to crack open. Kweku's power was immense, but Nyembe was no longer just a princess. She was a warrior, a mystic, and a force of nature. Together with Leka, they would face the darkness and restore the balance between the worlds. The battle between Nyembe and Kweku was fierce. Her sword clashed against his dark magic, and the sky above cracked open with lightning. But Nyembe was fueled by the strength of her ancestors, the power of the lioness, and the light of the moon. With one final strike, Nyembe pierced Kweku's heart, destroying his spirit and sealing the portal to the underworld. With Kweku's death, the darkness lifted, the land healed, and the balance between the spirit and physical realms was restored. Nyembe returned to the kingdom, not as a queen, but as a leader of her people, guiding them toward a new era of peace and prosperity. Nyembe and Leka's bond became a symbol of harmony between the earthly and spiritual realms. The kingdom flourished, and Nyembe's legacy lived on, passed down through generations. Wasn't that an incredible journey? If you enjoyed this epic tale of destiny, courage, and magic, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. And don't forget to leave a comment below what part of the story touched you the most. Join us next time for more adventures from the land of the moon. And remember, the legend of Nyembe is never truly over.